Hey all, in this video we're going to learn how to play Angel from Montgomery by John Prine. We'll just need 4 chords, D, G, A, and C. Let's do it. Ukulele wine time! Welcome to Ukulele Wine Time. My name is Kathryn. This is Ukulele for Beginners, where we play ukulele, and if you want, you can drink wine while we're doing it. We're playing the song today in the key of D. Just a quick note, the original John Prine version is in the key of G, and the Bonnie Raitt version, which is excellent, and I'm obsessed with it, is in the key of E. So we're just one step down from that in the key of D, more friendly for the ukulele. Okay, once again, those 4 chords we need are D, G, A, and C. All major chords. I will do a chord overview at the end. I'll walk through how to play those if you need a little review on that. So check out the timestamps below. So in this tutorial, first I'm going to show you the verse, chords, and lyrics. We'll line those up slowly. Then the chorus. Then we're going to look at a couple different strumming pattern options so you can level up depending where you're at. You can mix and match those. I'll talk starting pitch so you'll always know where to start if you're also singing the song. We'll put a couple of those pieces together, and then I'm going to do the whole song in another video tutorial so you can check out that play along. I'll link that below. And I think that's it. Let's get started. We'll start with the verse. So we just need, and actually the intro and the verse are the same chords. So we go back and forth between D and G, D, G, D, G 3 times, and then A to D. So we'll put that together slowly. And to start out, I'm just gonna do a downstroke with my thumb, and I'm just gonna play 1 downstroke per chord. I will show you some more strumming options later in this video, but we'll just keep it simple while we're learning the chords and lining up the words. Let's count through. We'll play that together, counting, and then we'll do it with the lyrics. So here we go. 1, 2, starting with D. Here we go. D, 2, G, 2, D, 2, G, 2, D, 2, G, 2, here we go, A, D. Here's a lyrics now. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child who's grown old. Okay, and that's the whole verse. So we've got 2 beats for each of those chords, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then that last little line, this is a cool rhythm that you can actually catch on your ukulele. So it's the same with all those verses. A child who's grown old a long time ago. So you can catch that little syncopated rhythm each time on your ukulele. Let's go on to verse 2. 2, 3, 4. If dreams were lightning, and thunder were desire, this old house would have burned down a long time ago. Okay, so that's our D2, G2, D2, G2, D2, G2, A, D. All right. Let's take a look at the chorus next. So we're going to start with our D chord again, move to a C chord, G, and D, and that repeats 4 times. And you'll notice in this song that that rhythm that we were just talking about in the last part of the verse, child is grown old. The second verse ends with a long time ago. That continues into the chorus. That kind of pulls you along at the ends of all those phrases. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. So you can catch that rhythm on your ukulele each time that it happens. So let's go through these chords. So again, we've got 2 beats per chord, carrying that on to the chorus. So we've got D, 2, C, 2, and then our rhythm G, 2, and D. Da, 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 da. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Okay, so D, C. We do have some lyric anchor, so the word flies lines up with your G chord. The flies from Montgomery make me a poster and an old rodeo. So that G chord is your anchor. So that always is going to line up with a lyric. So the second line is with the word old. Old rodeo. And the D kind of lands on the O of rodeo, if that's helpful. And then our next line, D, C, G, D, one more time. And this is of note too. The D, you play that before the lyrics come in for each line in the chorus. So the next line, you play D. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. So our G lines up with the word I can hold on to. And D lines up with on. And then our last line, we play the D first before the lyrics come in. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. And this actually, our C chord lines up with the word livin'. And then we've got our G to D. So let's put the whole chorus together nice and slow. So just keeping in mind that the first two chords, D and C, those get 2 beats each. D, 2, C, 2, and then G, D, D. The last two chords are a little bit syncopated, which means it's not falling directly on the beat. So let's try the whole chorus together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. All right, that's our chorus. And I'm doing that little knock in there. You don't have to do that. I'm just kind of showing time and keeping us on track there. So that's just what I was feeling in the time. Okay, and then we've got 2 more verses and a chorus, and then we're out. Next, we're going to talk about our starting pitch. So we are in the key of D. All right, so yes, D is our chord. It's also our key. So that means that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That starts on a D and it goes all the way up to another D, following our musical alphabet. Our starting pitch is so, mi, or 5, 3, or A to F sharp. So what that means is that our first pitch is on the word I is an A, and that's, you can play your bottom string or your open A string. There'll be an octave above, so if you want to hear that an octave below. And then maybe a better anchor for you is the M is an F sharp. You can find that from your D chord. So your third finger or your ring finger is actually playing an F sharp. Okay, so that's the second fret there. I am an old, that's on an F sharp. So that will help you find your starting pitch. And that first note is kind of not a throwaway, but if you just find the am, I am an old woman, you can kind of just throw a lower note in. Or if you want to really get that first start, the lower one, I am an old woman. Okay, so that's our starting pitch. And then our chorus, make me, same thing, starts on that F sharp. Make me an angel. So that's your anchor starting pitch for the chorus. Let's briefly check out the intro. So it's the same chords as the verse. So we do D, G, D, G, D, G, A, D. Slightly different rhythm. So check this out if you want to listen one time, and then we'll try it together. 1, 2, 3, listen. D, G, 3, 4, D, G, 3, 4, Let's try that together. 1, 2, ready, go. D, D, 3, 4, D, D, 3, 4, D, 3, 4, A, D, 3. Then we're into the verse. I am an old woman. Okay, so that's our intro. Let's talk strumming pattern next. So we've checked out the chords to the verse and the chorus, and we were just playing a downstroke on each chord, right? So now I'm going to give you a couple of ways to level that up if you're ready. So we're feeling our heartbeat of the song here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And before we were playing 2 beats per chord, D, 2, G, 2. So a very simple level up you could do is you could add an extra beat in there. So D, 2, G, 2. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another. And then here, a child who's grown old. I would actually keep that. That rhythm is just so, just part of the soul of this song. So keeping that rhythm helps you keep your vocals on track. And it really just lets people know that, yes, that's the song. And people will recognize that rhythm. To level it up from there, here's a third strumming pattern. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And if you've got a chuck, you could actually throw the chuck in there. Down, up, chuck, down, up, chuck, down, up, chuck, down, up, chuck, down. Okay, so that could be our verse. Let's try that with the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child who's grown old. If dreams were lightning, thunder were desire, old house would have burned down a long time ago. So for that last little phrase, you can keep it simple just the way we did earlier. A long time ago. Or if you want to do one time through that strumming pattern, a down, up, chuck, and then just catch that last D chord, that would sound like this. A long time ago. A long time ago. Child who's grown old. Okay, so that's an option there if you want to level up that last little line, or you can just keep it simple. Now, a note about your strumming patterns, and if you've been here for a while, you'll know that this is something I love to talk about. So there's no correct strumming pattern, like you don't have to do it the whole way through. And this is always a great opportunity for you to really find your own voice with the song as a musician, to really get creative. First of all, lean in and maybe let yourself make a couple mistakes. It's totally okay. And then really explore. So now you've got these different strumming pattern options. You have just the D and then just holding it for for 2 beats, 2, and then G, 2, right? So that's a very simple option. You can add more rhythm there by adding more downstrokes, or now you have the down, up, down, down, up, down. But you don't necessarily want to do the same strumming pattern the whole way through the song, so you could mix and match. For example, you could do, I am an old woman named after my mother. So you could do down for 2 beats and then down, down on your 2 beats for G. Or you could do, I am an old woman named after my mother. So any variation in there, it's going to add so much life to your song. You're just going to have more fun. It's going to allow you to be creative and really make the song your own. On that note, let's take a mini wine break. Cheers to you. Cheers to your creativity. If you're starting to think that way, how to make the song your own, making these little creative decisions in a song, you are a musician. You're thinking like a musician, thinking out of the box. So cheers to you. Cheers to more of that. And thank you so much for being here. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful and delightful, I hope you cheers the like button below, and I hope you subscribe to my channel for more ukulele wine time so we can learn some more songs together. Okay, be sure to check out the full play along video. We're gonna do the whole song together. I will go through those strumming patterns so we get to try all that out together, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye. Ukulele wine time. Hey y'all, here's that chord review I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to take you through how to play these 4 chords. Let's start with our D chord. So ukulele fingers, thumb does not get a number. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need these 3 fingers for our D chord on the 2nd fret. And your fingers are going to be in a straight line on the top 3 strings closest to your face. This is my left hand, by the way. Okay, and you're pushing all the way down to the wood as much as you can. And those fingers are, like I said, in a straight line across. So that is our D chord, and pinky just hanging out, and that last string is open. Let's move to our G chord next. Okay, so here's our G chord. Now in this song, we go back and forth between D and G quite a bit. So I'm gonna show how to move, or how to think about moving between those 2 chords. So check this out. Let's isolate these 2 fingers. So from our D chord, they're gonna stay on the same fret. My middle finger is gonna jump all the way to the bottom string here, and my pointer finger is just moving over 1 string, and there's a string left in the middle. My ring finger is gonna come down on the 3rd fret to push down that string that's in the middle of our peace sign fingers. Okay, so it might be a good idea to go back and forth a couple times between our D and our G to just check out that transition and see which fingers are moving where. From there, we'll go to our, let's do A next. So we are gonna do peace sign fingers again. So here's our A chord. So our pointer finger is on the 1st fret here on the 2nd string down. And then your middle finger is on the 2nd fret on the 1st string closest to your face, or your G string. Okay, so there's our A chord, looks like that. And then lastly, we have our C chord, which you want to play with your 1, 2, 3, 3rd finger on the 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret of your A string. Okay, just a simple C chord. So there you have it. Those are the chords for Angel from Montgomery. All right, cheers. Ukulele wine time.